Hello everyone, my name is Angel Barrio and today I'm going to show you an implementation of Andreas Klinau's Stocks on the Move equity momentum strategy that I wrote in Python to manage my Trading212 portfolio. I'll be going through the features, some of the design choices, and even go through a test run on a Trading212 demo account. This strategy scrapes all of the tickers from the S&P 400, 500, and 600 Wikipedia pages, and then requests all of the tradable instruments from Trading212. Once we have these two lists, we run a matching algorithm and compare them based on the direct name and the metadata of the Trading212 instrument. This matched list becomes our stock universe and all of the potential stocks that we're going to trade. But I think I'd rather show you how it really works. We can run our script with python3 main.py, and we'll see some initial logs showing us how we scraped the tickers from Wikipedia and requested the tradable instruments from Trading212. Now we can see here the matching that I was talking about, where we matched 1,159 of our wiki tickers via the base ticker names from Trading212, and now we matched 87 of them from the short name metadata. We also fetched the exchange rate, since my Trading212 account is in Euro, but the YFinance data only allows USD. And we then begin fetching, and you'll see that the fetching takes place in batches. In this case, 50, because I just found it to be the sweet spot in playing around with it, but you can set anything you want as a parameter. Whenever a stock fails within the batch, we retry individually. For example, here for AAN, but it just turns out that there was no YFinance data. Now you'll also see something here that I highlighted, where there is empty YFinance data for BRKB, but instead of directly skipping, we test a variant. This happens because the ticker name has a special symbol. Whenever tickers have special symbols, they tend to be written differently on different platforms. So the Wikipedia writers wrote it as BRK_B, while on Yahoo Finance it's listed as BRK-B. We retry all the variants and see if we can find data for them. We also have random sleeps in between the fetches just to kind of knock at IP band. And slowly but steadily we fetch all our data. So we're now running our last fetch, and we'll see that when we finish fetching all of our stocks, we're going to get a very fast trail of logs. This is because we're disqualifying all of the stocks that are under their simple moving average or that have gapped more than a certain amount in the last 90 days. Once all of these are eliminated, we compute ATR and momentum scores for the remaining stocks. And you can see here, we're generating all of our orders. So order placed, for example, for mRNA, with our quantities, order IDs, and more things. If we scroll up, you can see the position size, which is similar to the book's formula, and the fact that they're capped at 10%. If we go then to our Trading212 tab, which we have here in our portfolio, we'll see that all of these orders are indeed now, I think I have to expand this, they're now pending. They're not going to fill right now because we're in after hours and I don't have that activated. But you can see that all of these positions are pending and would be filled at market open. You can also see that at the bottom of the logs, we're being told that we saved our holdings pie chart and we saved our index price charts all inside of the local directory from which I ran the script. But that's not cool. It's much cooler to have Mr. Momentum on Telegram give us updates on our portfolio. So we can see here that Mr. Momentum, calling us boss by the way, pretty professional, just told us all of the stats about our rebalance. All of this universe scraped from Wikipedia, which we talked about, our matching algorithm, and our regime filter. We don't buy any new positions if the S&P 500 is below its 200-day simple moving average. So this just lets us know that our regime filter is green, the S&P is above its simple moving average, and we can proceed with new buys. It then shows us the ones that we dropped out for the reasons that I mentioned before, which were 358 of them were below their SMA, 25 of them gapped more than the 15% in the last 90 days, and etc. We get some cool statistics about our momentum regression. And these were the top 100 stocks ranked by momentum. We're only ever really going to hold the top 25, at least with the parameters that I've set by default. And these are pretty interesting to look at. Let's take ICHR and see if we're really calculating the momentum correctly. If we check inside of our Trading212, we'll see that for the last 3 months, eCore indeed has some momentum. If you want to know more about the momentum calculation, I really recommend that you check out the README in the GitHub repo in the description, or just read any of the sources that I listed below. But Mr. Momentum here tells us some more analytics. It tells us this was our portfolio before we rebalanced, which in this case is 100% cash, because this was a demo account that I just started to show you this, and all of the orders that we sent in, and the orders that remained pending, as well as our ending portfolio. We also get a handy rebalance report PDF in case we would just want to save it for later. But that was it. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.